In 1959, two climbers vanished high on Ama Dablam, near Everest's shadow. No trace, no answers, only a mountain, a shattered expedition, and a mystery, frozen into Himalayan ice.
Hey, glad you're here. Welcome to the Himalayan Journals. Here on this channel, we bring to you real stories from century old field notes. We try to keep it simple and calm here. Think of it as a documented history of the Himalayas from the early 1900s, covering stories of indigenous wisdom, epic expeditions, and groundbreaking science passed on just as they were recorded. Subscribe, zone out, binge.
In the spring of 1959, a small British party set out to climb Ama Dablam, a mountain rising to 22,494 feet a few miles south of Everest. The attempt ended in tragedy. Two members of the expedition lost their lives near the summit, and the memory of the climb remained clouded by uncertainty. Yet there were also achievements, carefully won, that deserved to be recorded. Ama Dablam had long been familiar from its striking southwest aspect, described by Sir John Hunt after the Everest ascent of 1953. The mountain stood on the south bank of the Imya Glacier, separated from Everest by the wall of the Lhotse Nuptse Ridge. It had four main ridges. After studying photographs taken in 1953 and 1954, the North Ridge and the Southwest Ridge appeared less impossible than the others. In particular, a spur rising from the northeast to the shoulder of the North Ridge seemed to offer the best line to the summit. Preparations took shape in the latter half of 1958. Permission was obtained from the Nepalese government, and the expedition was named the British Solakhumbu Expedition. 6 members formed the climbing party, including G.J. Fraser, E.A. Wrangham, M.J. Harris, Dr. Frederick Jackson, Mrs. Nay Morin, and the leader, who had earlier experience in Nepal. 4 experienced Sherpas were engaged, along with 3 Sherpa orderlies. Financial support came from the Mount Everest Foundation, the Medical Research Council, and the Newcastle Regional Hospital Board. The party assembled in Kathmandu on March 25, 1959, and set out on Easter Sunday, March 29th, with 72 coolies. They followed the established route towards Everest, crossing the Dudh Khosi on April 10th and reaching Namche Bazar on April 13th. Below Kumjung, they changed porters and moved on towards Ama Dablam. On April 17th, they established base camp at about 16,500 feet at the foot of the northeast spur, directly beneath the mountain, with Everest visible beyond the Imja Glacier. After acclimatization and minor illness within the party, Harris and the leader climbed Ambu Gyabjan on April the 24th. From its summit, they examined the north ridge of Ama Dablam. That same day, Harris and the leader reconnoitered the lower part of the northeast spur and reached a prominent notch 1/3 of the way up. From there, the route became clear. It followed the crest of the ridge, involving a steep rock buttress, a second notch suitable for a camp, a difficult corner known as the Gray Corner, and then ice and snow leading towards the summit cone. Harris and Fraser completed the first major obstacle by turning the rock buttress on the right. Fixed ropes and a rope ladder were installed, and Camp 1 was established at about 17,850 feet. Camp 2 followed on the shoulder of the ridge at approximately 19,200 feet, and on May 7th, Camp 3 was set on a narrow ice platform at around 19,850 feet. beneath a steep 45-degree ridge. Camps were few and exposed, and movement was always safeguarded. On May 8th, Harris and Fraser climbed near the top of the 45-degree ridge, but returned when Fraser became unwell. A bronchial infection was diagnosed, and the party paused while the weather remained unsettled. Fraser recovered, and on May 13th, the advance resumed. By May 17th, Harris and Wrangham were at Camp 3, while others supported from below. Dr. Jackson showed signs of heart irregularity and was sent down on May 18th. Harris and Fraser moved ahead with a lightweight tent, aiming to establish another camp beyond the steep ridge. They pitched Camp 4 below the top of the 45-degree slope and then crossed onto the castellated ice ridge beyond, establishing Camp 5. On the afternoon of May 20th, they were seen cutting steps near the far end of the ice ridge at about 21,500 feet, close to the summit slopes. They returned to Camp 5 that day. The following morning, they were seen again reaching the same point. By midday, cloud covered the summit and they disappeared from view. They were never seen again. Over the next day, hope turned into certainty that an accident had occurred. It was never known whether they reached the summit. No trace was found on the northeastern slopes, and it was assumed they fell into the northwest Todobillawim. Bad weather followed. The remaining party descended with difficulty in blizzard conditions, suffering exhaustion and frostbite. Camps were abandoned as the monsoon set in. A final search from the northwest Todobillawim on May 30th revealed nothing. A cairn was erected at base camp in memory of Mike Harris and George Fraser, and the expedition returned home, leaving behind questions that the mountain did not answer.